Alright guys, I am back with another AWS tutorial. In this demo, I am going to use the web application firewall to create a rule set that will block my access to the application load balancer. Basically, I'm going to be using this network diagram here. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Okay, so here's the network diagram that I'll be working with. I already have my environment set up in terms of the VPC and the application load balancer and all the instances right here, and the listener group that's already set up. So we can go ahead and just for this demo, we're going to follow these steps here. I'm going to create an IP sets list, and then I'll create the web ACL and the details for it, and then I'll associate the application load balancer to that web ACL, and then I'll add the IP sets to the rules, and then we'll define the action that it needs to do, which is to block my source IP address. And then from there, once we test everything and test the functionality of the web application firewall, I'll go ahead and roll back and delete the configuration. So let's take a look at the environment to see what's already existing. Let's go into the AWS console. All right, so here's the AWS console. I already have my VPC defined here. And then if I choose my load balancer, you can see that the load balancer is already created. And then I also have my target group set up here. My target group has two EC2 instances registered to it, and they're both healthy. And if I go back to my load balancer and I'm gonna click on the DNS name, it should be serving up traffic right away. Okay, so basically here, one of the servers is responding saying that the message is from server 1. If I hit refresh again, okay, and then server 2 is also responding there. Back to server 1, refresh again, back to server 2, etc., etc. So from the diagram here, we can see that the application load balancer was listening on port 80, and then it forwarded my request to the EC2 instances, and the load balancer is load balancing traffic to these EC2 instances. So what I'll do now is I'll create a web application firewall and its rules to block my access to the application load balancer. And the way I'm going to do that is we're going to go into the console here, and then we're going to go into basically go back here, and we type in WAF. All right. We'll choose WAF, Web Application Firewall. We need to go ahead and create an IP sets list first. And then we're going to choose the US East 1 region because that's where my environment is set up. I'll hit create IP set. I'm going to call this my IP set. Description optional. And then I'm going to say which IP address I'm going to add to the IP set. So in this example, I am going to block access from wherever I am, which is my laptop here, and it's got its own public IP. So how do we know what IP it is? Basically, you can go and type in what is my IP address, and for my IP address, it is this guy. So I'll go ahead and copy that, and then put that in here. Give it a /32 for the single IP. I'll hit create IP set. Okay, that's already created there. That's great. Now I'm going to go into the web ACL, and then I'm going to create a web ACL. All right, I'm going to give it a name, my web ACL. Okay, and then now I need to add resources. So I'm going to add my application load balancer as a resource. Choose application load balancer. Check my application load balancer. I'll hit add. Okay, that's done. I'll hit next. This is basically reviewing my choices here. I'll hit next, leave everything by default there. And then set rule priority, no need for that, hit next. Oops, let's go back to a few things here. We're gonna block. Well, wait. So it says here basically add rules. So we're gonna add rules. I need to add and manage my own rules. And the rule type is gonna be the IP set that I've created earlier. I'm gonna say my IP set rule. It's the name of it. Choose the IP set that I want to add to this rule, which is my IP set, which is earlier. And then I'm gonna use that set as the source IP. So again, going back to the network diagram, I am adding the rule that says my IP address will be blocked when I try to access the application load balancer. So that's what I'm doing here. And we're going to say block on that and then add rule. All right, so that's done. Reviewing. If anything else that doesn't match, we'll allow. So then hit next, and then we'll hit next here, and then we'll just hit next, leave everything default. All right, review my web ACL in this region, and then we'll hit create web ACL. Okay, once you click on that, it's going to take a while. It's thinking here. The process takes about 10 seconds to do the confirmation. Just give it some time. Just give it some time here. It should pop up pretty soon saying that it is successful. Give it a second here. All right, come on. Maybe I didn't click on it. Let me hit create web ACL again. Okay, I did. Oops, it's duplicated, so we know that it's done. Refresh. Web ACL. There it is. My web ACL is created already. So here are the rules, right? The action is to block, and the rule, if I click on that, it says block this IP address. All right, so now how do we test that out? We go back to the network diagram here. Basically, I'm going to go ahead and put in the DNS address of the application load balancer, and it should give me an error. So let's go back into the this page here. Okay, so if I hit refresh, okay, it's not working. So let's go back and see what we did already here on my web ACL. Rules. IP address. Okay. And let's go back here and see if it's working yet. Still not working. Okay. Did I associate here web ACL? Associated sources. Oh, I didn't associate my web application firewall, so let's go ahead and do that. I thought I did that earlier. Click on that, hit add. Okay, that's done. So that's done. Let's go ahead and try it again. Refresh. There we go, 403 forbidden. All right, so now I can't access it from my public IP. So let's go ahead and remove that. Let's go ahead and click on that. Disassociate. Remove. All right, so now I should be able to access my EC2 instances. The web application load balancer should be working properly again. There it is. All right, so now we want to remove all the rules. Let's go ahead and delete this rule. All right, so that's done. IP sets, web ACL, get rid of that, delete that as well. All right, and finally we need to remove this IP set. Delete. Okay, so that's done. So now we are back to the beginning, which is no web ACL and no IP sets. There it is. All right, guys, there it is. Basically, that's pretty simple, and I hope this tutorial is useful to you, and I'll be making another one shortly. Thank you.